15 minutes. Now is already time and we are happy to start. And then after that, we are having friend, our graduate from Toronto, Mr. Roy, and he's going to say a few words about his experience and what our MBA, in which extent our program impacted his career and life. Because that's usually the question from the students. Since we are online school, it's always question, what can I do with a degree, or what can degree do for myself? And it's always good to have referrals or students who went through it, who are graduates and who are part of our alumnus body. So today we have Mr. Roy. He will speak at the end. What I'm going to do in next 15 minutes, I'm going to give overview of our program, what's going on, what distinguishes us from other schools, to which extent, if anything. And then we have also a few questions which are pending throughout this week. Some of the prospect students could not attend the webinar, but I promised to our staff here that we are going to address those questions. So, long story make short, and we will be focused. So, what you can see on the screen is part of our homepage and our campus. We are located in Septembroek. It's province Luxembourg, close to the country of Luxembourg, South Belgium. And that's the place from which we are running our program. And in next few minutes, I'm going to say a few words about the program, about the school, what's uniqueness on our side, what you can gain from the program, about the fees, and about the accreditation or diploma. That's also one of the key questions for the students. Well, I'm going to finish the school, I'm going to study there, I'm going to spend 2 years, and then what? What kind of impact and value or recognition the program and diploma is having? So those are the key questions we are going to touch upon, and we have also practical experience from the students and how it impacted their life. So first of all, our name, Alfred Ford. Mr. Ford is, of course, picture above it's Henry, and his great-grandfather of Alfred, the gentleman at the bottom right corner. We are named after Alfred, but although we can say our school started to originate from Mr. Henry, Mr. Ford, because already 1 century and something, he, with his operation at the Ford School, he was able to touch people, bringing in conscious leadership. And how he did it? He said we should take care of our people, employees. And that's pretty much initial conscious leadership in practice. So we can say, yes, indeed, original of our school can be also dated in that time. But ultimately, we started as a school, we started in 2017, 7 years ago. And since then till now, we are established online school, which is having teachers and students from 6 continents. So that's our distinctive feature, and we are happy about it. And of course, we can say uniqueness, what we are offering and we are speaking about, and something which is very present in our program and our culture is conscious leadership. And that's something which we are going to touch upon, because it's many times students are asking themselves, what does it mean, conscious leadership? But we can explain very simple, and we are going to say a few words about that also. So what's our uniqueness? That's uniqueness. Conscious leadership, it's about purpose, about profit, about value creation, about the planet, about the people. Ultimately, any MBA, any school is going to tell you, we are looking to make our operation and our teaching in a way which is ethically grounded. We are also saying that, and we are saying whatever we are doing, we should take into consideration people which are involved, planet, how we are going to affect environment, and we should find a way how to bring value from the operation we are doing, which is creating a profit. But also, which is super important, everything should be taught with a purpose. So our education is trying to reinvent whatever we are doing in a way that it brings certain value and purpose from what we are doing. So that's the core principle, in short, about the conscious leadership. Of course, our distinctiveness and uniqueness also is in some short, we call it micro modules. We can put them in a category, know yourself. What does it mean? That means that we are looking for the way the students get familiar and understand their own patterns, nature and behavior, their inner world, which is going to be reflected in the organization, in the working environment. So we are having Enneagram as a module, as a micro module. We have also life and coaching micro module and study support. Those are additional activities which are going to help students one-to-one to move forward and not to be lost. Ultimately, our distinctiveness is also that our program, although being run in English language, we are ultimately accredited from Paris, France, and our degree, and we are going to repeat it also later, it's international recognized degree. Finishing our degree here through Alfred Ford School of Management, one gets the accreditation, which is recognized all around the globe. It's a so-called level 7 in the UK system. It's a master degree, it's MBA. And if you are looking to continue and of course start your doctorate, it is possible. C'est possible, as they would say in France. And distinctive is also that our price, our tuition fee is very reasonable. It's 8.9 thousand euros, and we are also offering that in installments, monthly installments of 300 and something euros in a period of 24 months. So it's quite reasonable, quite decent, and we don't have interest on that. But what's important, and later Mr. Roy is going to say a few words, important is that our graduates, our school is running already for years, and our graduates are happy with the program. Without bothering you too much with the figures, every graduate, whoever finishes the school, he or she is submitting anonymous survey, and this is the result summary from the last 2 years, how students are perceiving our school. Maybe the most important is the first one, student satisfaction, when 9.1 out of 10 students is going to say, yes, I'm super satisfied with the program, with the experience, with what I gave in and what I received back from the school. But other figures are definitely there, which are standing and speaking the same language. You know, people are happy, and graduates are happy, and we are happy as administration of the school to say, you can, whoever is looking to, you can speak with our graduates. You can find them on LinkedIn. You can also drop the line to the school and ask, well, can I speak with some of your graduates? It is possible, and we are naturally very happy to connect prospect students with the students body or with the graduates. So this is a very important figure. Sometimes students or prospects are asking, can I move in a career? Can I get, what's going to be ultimate result of my degree? Well, you can see even 46% of the graduates are able to what? They were able to progress within their own career organization. So that's quite good statistic we are running through. But how do we do our education practically? Well, we are running everything based on the case studies. That's another, I wouldn't say distinctive feature, but case study means that we are concerned about the book knowledge, about the theory, but that's not the backbone and the core of our education. We are running everything through the cases. Every week there is something to study, something practical. Why? Because ultimately our student body, our students, pretty much 98, 99% of our students are working. and they are engaged in the work, they will not be able to spend much time on the campus ground. So we say, okay, yes, let us just subject after subject, we deal with the cases. Another thing which is it's relevant, we are also offering elective 1 week in Belgium. It's module of conscious leadership. And if students are looking to come and to be part of the 1 week resident, it is possible, although it's also possible to attend conscious leadership online. The module, which is capstone, it is a final experience of the program. And everyone can join the program every pretty much 8-9 weeks when we have upcoming module. Study goes from 18 months and it can also be extended to 5 years. What does it mean? That means that every student, as I said, our students are working. If they have intense schedule, if they are traveling, if they are not able to attend upcoming module, they don't have to register. So they can do it in a few months down the road. They can skip the module. They can start in 2 months and no problem. And in 5 years, there will be 6 times the same module run and rerun again. They will catch up one of those upcoming events of the module. As I said, we are having distinctiveness in a good tuition fee. It's only 8.9 thousand euros. And if you divide it in 24 months, you get 350 euros. Ultimately, for this intake now, meaning next month, mid of April, we are offering 500 euros discount for all the prospect students who are attending this session and who are going to hear this session. Then how it looks, how the program is looking like. I'm going to attend online program, and sometimes, especially in some countries, there is still quite difference between attending online program and attending on-site. In our case, no. Ultimately, those two distinctions, online, on-site, is more and more blurred because everything pretty much goes online at the moment. Some resources are always present online, so we have to be familiar with the online delivery. So pretty much that's where we are with the paper version of the diploma. Then next, how the graduation is looking like. Well, we are running that pretty much every year, spring, late spring, May or June in Paris. And this is one of our, I would say this was just after the COVID time graduation in Paris. Big hall is rented and hundreds of students from France, of course, but also international students are coming there. And those few pictures which emerge are Alfred Ford School of Management graduation group. And of course, we are also super international. You can see in the first row some of our teachers, and behind are a number of graduates happy that they finally did it. One of the few pictures we are having. What you can do and what's next step for you interested in program, well, you can apply and you can get 500 euros discount for the upcoming event. You can speak with the graduates. If some of you is interested to speak with the students or graduates, you can always drop us on a website, a chat on WhatsApp, asking for that, and we'll be happy to put in some of the students in your pretty much region or time zone, so you can easily get in touch with the student. You can also ask for the demo. Would you like to see how the delivery of our program is arranged online, how videos are looking and how interaction is looking like? Yes, we have the demo. Now, questions. Well, we had this week some of our prospect students who are not at this call, or at least as far as I know, they will not be able to come. One of them is Sangita from Malaysia, and she's asking a few questions, and I'm going to answer them. Which kind of yoga? So Sangita said it's about yoga. What kind of yoga relates to conscious leadership? I guess Sangita connected yoga, hearing or reading about purpose of our conscious leadership component. Ultimately, we are not bringing forward any kind of yoga per se. Yoga means relationship and connection. So what we are looking is through our work, through our endeavor, in no matter what kind of environment we are looking to connect our value system with a higher consciousness. And ultimately, we are looking to upgrade, uplift our consciousness with the work we are performing. So ultimately, that's what we are looking is to find a way in our endeavors and through our education or an MBA, find a way how to bring our work and endeavors to the higher consciousness and dovetail very same work and results of our work to something higher. So that's an art, and it's nothing new in terms of that we are neither first and hopefully neither last school who is dealing with that. Just as a reference, Sangita, I would like to bring forward, and you can search on the internet, just More Than Money MBA. And you can see there are a few beautiful books on the topic from the business academia speaking about very same concept. So that's something which is very relevant. And there are some students who are behind. Second question, may I ask if students must be open to share spiritual background or beliefs, as there seems to be quite a lot emphasis on it? Or is it okay to keep this private? Well, ultimately, spiritual background or beliefs, no. Ultimately, we are not looking and not asking anyone to share their beliefs and spiritual background. No, not at all. Ultimately, how do we see? We see that every individual is spiritual being, which is using the particular vehicle or body we are having. And that's ultimately how we, through our MBA, perceive individuals and students, but also others. And last question, Sangita, if this is not great as an answer, I will be more than happy if you can write it again, and we will be able to speak with you. Third question from Sangita, and the last one, I'm very curious how an MBA develops with conscious leadership as the guiding principle. If you have any examples, I look forward to hearing them. Well, since we are going to have a small presentation from our friend and graduate from Toronto, Mr. Roy, he will be able to say a few things about that. But I can tell you, in general, how an MBA develops its consciousness. Ultimately, you can see the product, if you want to use business term. That means the students, the graduates, what are they and what they perform in the world. Based on that, you can judge, is school making something out of it? Is it assisting students or not? I would say very much. And examples are the students. That's pretty much what do we see, what they are doing, how they are engaged, what they do in life. That's ultimately something which is of relevance. Okay, Sangita, hopefully this is to the degree satisfactory. And that would be pretty much regarding the answering your question, Sangita. I'm going to bring back here to the floor, and we have here Mr. Roy. Indrani, if hopefully my presentation was clear, and if you can say a few words, because we didn't have many chance to get from the student anything. So if you can kindly say a few words about your experience. Maybe you can also address the last question Sangita was asking, practicalities. What's the example? Where it heads? So please, you have as much time as you want, and we'll be happy to hear it.
So thank you, Dario. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on this particular forum to kind of share some of my experience graduating from the school. I think it will be a good topic to talk about is what Sangeeta asked. And I thought that was a brilliant question that she put up there. How MBA develops with conscious leadership as a guiding principle. And the reason why I'm saying this is a very important because it's something that I thought about when looking at programs at different business schools. And what popped up in front of me was obviously Alfred Ford School of Management offering conscious leadership. And in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, how does this conscious leadership and business school will really work? And it may sound kind of corny, but I just have to say that the program was done in such a way which changed my mindset, because I think the most important or the most defining principle in leadership is to understand the reality. And what this program really kind of pushed me was to change that mindset and think beyond, look beyond, and also looking changing that perspective by bringing in mind over matter, if that makes sense. The reason why I'm saying this, I'm a very practical person. So, when I was looking at why do I want to do this program over other programs that are being offered by other business school, one that stood out to me is, of course, that there's emphasis on consciousness. Like, if leaders are conscious of what they do, it'll be a different world. And to me, it was very important that if I'm going to take up this particular business school, I want to do something different that is not offered by regular schools. Yes, you can do MBA in finance, you can do MBA in marketing, but at the end of the day, all you're learning is how to maximize your profit, how to become more greedy as a company that probably the enterprise doesn't care for the planet. And I was not interested in it. I wanted to know how I can make an impact to the world by at the same time acquiring a master's that will affect my life, my surroundings, and the impact that will be followed by what I do and how I lead my team or my company. So I don't know if that is a good answer or fair answer for Sangeeta's question. And if I can also add an example, which I think she asked for, I personally saw a big change in the organization that I was working, primarily because the way we did the business out there was a typical corporate kind of an approach. But as I started to kind of progress through this modules and learning, how to look at things in a different way, I myself changed, uh, and I was doing things in a very different way. It was not so much about me at that time, but I started to look at we. I started to look at how I can contribute to the team, not as an individual contributor, but as a team contributor, where I can pull someone who's like struggling in the team. And when you actually take a approach like that in a corporate world, you get recognized, because yes, the leaders, they do talk about teamwork, but often it's ignored. They are just looking at individual performance. But when there's one person making that difference, you very quickly get recognized. And probably that was one of the reasons why, some of the senior leaders approached me and said, uh, would you be interested in XYZ role, which was, for me, was a promotion because it was at least 2 level higher. And I asked that leader, and I said, why me, and why not someone who is in our team who is a very high performer? And I still remember the answer that he gave me. He said, yes, he's a high performer, but he's only looking about himself. He's more concerned about how much bonus at the end of the year he's going to get. It's not about the enterprise, it's not about the team. And what I see, what you are bringing to the team, is you're trying to pull the entire team so that everyone in the team can perform well and have a good share of bonus at the end of the year. And I think that was like a big accolade for me, coming from a senior management and saying what they can actually see. And all I can say is, uh, it was a background that I had, like I was practicing some yoga, where you become very mindful of surroundings. You become very mindful of what you do, how your actions and behaviors can uh, affect the rest of the world or people around you. But also the way this MBA program was teaching, because every module you had at in rather every assignment has some conscious leadership related questions, which actually making you analyze and do some critical thinking around. And it may sounds like a sales speech, but I can say from the bottom of my heart that I'm very, very thankful uh, to this program, and that I've been able to graduate with a very different mindset, where, to me, it's very important that if you become a leader, it's not just always about getting a certificate, but how you use your knowledge in the practical life. I think that's more important than just a certificate that will be sitting at your table or hanging at the wall, nicely framed. And I think with that, I'll kind of pause. And Dario, if you have any question, I'm happy to answer to the best of my knowledge.
Thank you very much. This was quite something. I appreciate it indeed, and I'm sure it's going to be of valuable insight for Sangita, but not only for her. We are going to send this link back to the whole group, whoever registered for the module, for the webinar, was not able to take a part. Ultimately, also, if some of the students are looking to hope you don't mind, speak with you, they can ask for your contact. So
Sure.
that would be great.
Just wanted to add something. I think it's very important that when you sign up and when you actually start your program, make sure that you set a cadence, a daily cadence. What I mean by that is set a routine, whether it's a daily routine or whether it's a weekly routine. Unless you set that cadence for yourself, because most of the students that, at least to my knowledge, I've seen they have a work outside. They are working, they have a family, and they're going to now study. Unless you put a cadence, unless you put a routine to your life that X number of hours you're going to put aside to study, do research, write your assignment, I think you will have probably bigger challenge than you would think. And that could even kind of discourage you to even complete. But if you put a routine, a weekly routine, a daily routine, which I personally did, uh, after I came back from work, I would always put aside a couple of hours when I would just sit, go through the textbook, read, write, take notes, run the videos. And on the weekends, I would spend a little bit more time. I would put time aside and just focus on completing the assignments, making sure that I understood, the case study well. Uh, the good thing is you got a very good support from the school, not only the teachers, but make sure you join the forum because a lot of your members in the cohort, they come from different background. If you can build that relationship within that forum, you can lean on to each other. Uh, I was very lucky that the cohort that I was in, we were very it was a friendly cohort. And a lot of times I didn't understand something, or maybe I didn't get the clarity. And I would ask that, hey, could somebody explain to me what it is? And either they would reach out to me on WhatsApp, or they would actually put it on that forum, uh, maybe some link. And Dario, you were very helpful. If something I didn't grasp properly, I would reach out to you and you would actually send me a link, uh, whether to a good article or a link to something on a YouTube. And that was very helpful. And I would suggest that, if you are in the program, make sure you get to know your cohort. Uh, Make sure you communicate with Dario. Make sure you communicate with your student counselor, uh, and the alumni. There's, we already graduated. There are quite a few of us. We are happy to help, and we're happy to support, guide you through. So you're not there by yourself. We all collaborate, and that's the beauty of this particular school. And I'm very happy to be part of Alpha School of Management. Thank you, Dario.
Thank you, Mister. Thank you. Appreciate. Yeah. Yes, I would say this was quite complete presentation, and I wouldn't move it any further. We answer some questions, and if prospect students are having further queries, we will be happy to direct them maybe to you or to some other of the graduates or current students. But I would say with that, in these 35 minutes, we quite covered the topic. And even you, Mr. Roy, you're going to get the link with the presentation.
Thank you, Dario. I'm happy to come back again if, in a few weeks, if you want me to. And this is a great opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all for being with us. Until the next time.
Bye.
Bye.